We all got skills. We have talents and we have passions. But mine happens to be sex. This is the Funsexual podcast with your oversharing swinky best friend, Majesty. And I'm talking sex and all of the ways and all of the things that make sex, well, fun. Welcome to the first episode of the new year of the Funsexual podcast. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Maj. M to the AJ. What it do, y'all? Hi. I really feel like I should reintroduce myself because let me tell y'all something. Y'all met 2020 Maj for a little while. Y'all met her for a little while, right? Then y'all had 2021 Maj. Y'all got a lot of 2021 Maj. But 2022 Maj, this a whole new bitch, whole new pussy, whole new year, whole new everything. So y'all don't know her, okay? So let me reintroduce myself real quick, okay? Hello, everybody. My name is Majesty. To my friends, I'm Maj. To the good boys and girls of the world, I am Mistress Majesty. And to at least one person in the world, I'm the freaky bitch with the bus. Welcome to the Funsexual podcast. Yes, that felt really good. I haven't been here in a minute. I actually ended up skipping what would have been last week's episode. Let me tell y'all why. I had an appointment. Not a dick appointment. I had a hair appointment. And it ended up taking 6 hours longer than I wanted it to. And so that cut into recording time for me. Because by the time I was done and packing and doing all the other shit that I needed to do, it was the end of the fucking night. And it just, life happens. And then the next day I was leaving and all that stuff. But so I said, you know what? I'm just going to come back in the new year refreshed. And honestly, the topic that I had picked out, right, which I'm still going to talk about today, is self-love. But a lot of this episode is about to be catching y'all up. Because, of course, it was New Year's, right? New Year's Eve, NYE 2022, right? And, of course, I ain't going to say I was wilding or nothing, but I got some stories to tell, okay? Whoo, baby, I could probably get clips on clips on clips from this one. Because let me tell y'all, all right? But before I do that, resolutions. I am not a person that really makes resolutions in general. I have only ever in my life kept one New Year's resolution to myself, right? And that was when I was in like 6th grade, and that was to stop biting my nails. I was a habitual nail biter. That's the only resolution I've ever kept to myself. Earlier in December last year, I started thinking about if I wanted to start setting New Year's resolutions. And I told myself that I would make my resolution to, what did I say? I said stop cursing. I said I'm going to stop cursing. I don't need to curse. I'm not a dumb bitch. I have a pretty decent vocabulary. I don't need to curse. But then I said, nah, I don't want to do that because cursing is my, sometimes you need that extra curse word. Sometimes you need that goddamn, that motherfucker. Sometimes you just need that in there to get the expression across as passionately as you feel it. So I said, we're not going to do that one. So I decided that my New Year's resolution to myself and to you guys is going to be for the year of 2022, I am going to go the fuck hard. I'm going hard for 2022. I'm going hard on this podcast for 2022. I said I'm going to give myself a year to let this thing take off in the way that I want it to take off, in the way that I know that it can take off, right? I'm going to be dedicated to it. I'm going to put my energy into it. I'm going to put my time into it. I'm going to put my money into it. I'm going to put my focus into it. I'm going to put it first instead of, some of the bullshit that I be wanting to do. I'm going to put the podcast first for a year. I'm going to give it a year and see, what we do with it. We've done pretty well in this first year. Let's see what year number 2 can bring, right? Another resolution that I made for myself was I have anxiety. And my anxiety has stopped me from doing a lot of things. My anxiety stopped me from starting this fucking podcast like 3 years ago. My anxiety has stopped me from doing a lot of things that, I have either since done or, continue to think about. I'm really fucking good at a lot of fucking shit. Like, I am really good at I am really good at a lot of things. And I let my anxiety tell me that I can't do them or that I won't be successful in doing them. And then I end up really not doing them. So this year, I'm not going to let my anxiety, which is a hating ass voice in the back of your mind, I am not going to let anxiety tell me that I cannot do the things that I want to do. All of the things that I want to do, I'm doing them all. All of the ventures that I want to start, I'm doing them all. All of the fucking events that I want to plan, I'm doing them all. I let my anxiety stop me from going into event planning years ago. Mind you, I'm a fucking phenomenal event planner. Like, phenomenal. I'm a really good event planner. And I've been doing it for my friends. I've done it for my jobs. It's something that I've always ended up doing. And I was like, no, I can't do it on a big scale. Like, no, baby. You got this. I got this. I'm really fucking good at it. And I keep proving it to myself. So, I'm not going to let my anxiety stop me from doing the shit that I want to do. So y'all are going to see a lot more from me, and probably a large range of different things. But that's just because I'm a talented bitch. I'm really good at a lot of shit. Okay? So, that's my resolutions for 2022. Hold me to that, y'all. Also, un momento, por favor, I need a piece of motherfucking tissue because my nose is running. Not because I got COVID. I did take a test 2 weeks and a half ago. I ain't got COVID no more. But it's cold in here. It is cold in the bus. I was gonna record in my room like I did with the last episode, but I said, nah, I want to come in the bus. It's the first episode of the new year. I want to be in the bus. Even though it's fucking freezing in here. I got a little short sleeve shirt on. I got my Sex Is Not a Bad Word shirt on. Sidebar, if you would like to order a Sex Is Not a Bad Word shirt, hit me in the DMs at the Funsexual on Instagram. I'll hook you up with a fucking shirt. Alright? But I got a little short sleeve shirt on. I wanted to, do the thing. And then I came in this motherfucker. It is fucking freezing. It's cold as hell in here. So, that's why I got this little sweater on. This podcast ain't about the aesthetics. Just so y'all know. This podcast is about me talking about my shit. This podcast is also, since we're talking about what this podcast is not, it's not about the aesthetics, right? This podcast is not about relationship advice. Do not come to me for relationship advice. I give terrible relationship advice. I ain't never been in no relationship. I cannot help y'all there. Come to me about sex. I got you. Come to me looking for events. I got you. Come to me looking for some lingerie recommendations or some sex toy recommendations or some shit like that. I got you. Do not come to me asking me for relationship advice. I can't help you. You want to know how to change up some sex in your relationship or some shit? I got you there. But relationship advice, please don't do that. This podcast is also not comedy, okay? I'm not funny. If you are looking for somebody that's going to make you laugh and hee and cackle and be rolling on the floor and shit, this is not the place for that. I'm talking hoe shit. That's what I got. That's what I have to offer. I'm talking kink. That's what I got. That's what I have to offer. I'm talking experimental shit. That's what I have to offer. I'm not funny. I'm sorry. I don't have the funny bone, the comedic, whatever the fuck. I don't have that. I don't own that. I don't possess that. I've never really been funny. I've never really tried to be funny because I knew it was just not my forte. Like when niggas was in 3rd grade clowning and roasting each other, that was just never, that was never a game that Maj wanted to play because that's not my thing. It's just not my thing. I'm not funny. So, I just wanted to clear that up. We're coming into a new year. I got some new listeners. And I wanted to just make sure that was very clear. This is not a comedy podcast. Okay? All right. So now that we're done with that, let's go into a little bit of a life update. These last couple weeks, y'all know I'm trying to move to Brooklyn. And my hunt for an apartment in Brooklyn is stressful. Okay? Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. So yes, I am still looking for an apartment in Brooklyn. I am still trying to move out to Brooklyn. I'm trying to do so within the next month-ish or so. But yes, that is still going down right now. As I said, I don't have COVID anymore. I got COVID like the 2nd week of December. I ended up sitting in the house for my fucking birthday. I ended up I don't celebrate Christmas, but I ended up not being able to do Christmas. I usually go to a friend's house, eat some food or some shit. I couldn't do that. But I did do something for Christmas. I'm going to tell you about that. I ended up missing the fucking Hard or Soft winter party, which I really wanted to go to. Missing that. But I got New Year's Eve, and I had a lot of fun. So I'm happy that, COVID, the Omicron variant didn't take me out for too long. I'm really glad it didn't take me out for too long, because if I would have missed New Year's Eve too, I would have been tight. Oh, dog, I would have been pissed. I would have been so mad if I would have missed New Year's Eve, because I ended up having so much fucking fun. So Christmas, what I ended up doing for Christmas. I don't remember if I told y'all 2 weeks ago, but a friend of mine convinced me to she told me that I needed a weekend of intentional self-love. And I didn't really know what that meant, but I booked an Airbnb for me and my cat. If y'all saw, we had our matching pajamas on and we were so cute. I did tell y'all last week. I did tell y'all about that I was going on it. So I did do that the weekend of Christmas. And it ended up being such a nice weekend. Initially, as I was driving there, when I got there, I ran to the grocery store because the grocery stores were about to close, and came back in and was like, all right, so now what am I going to do? And I just sat around and realized that this Airbnb didn't have a TV. I brought my laptop with me, luckily, but like, this Airbnb didn't have a TV. It was quiet. There was nobody around. I was like, what am I about to do in here? And then I was like, I really want to invite somebody over. Like, you know, I thought I wanted to spend this time by myself, but I really would rather just be here with somebody. And I was like, you know, I didn't know what to think. I was like, I'm just going to be here for the next 2 days. Fuck it. Like, whatever. So that night, that very first night, I ended up making myself something to eat. And then while like my food was cooking, after I ate, I ended up facing a bottle of fucking rosé. I got lit. I'm a lightweight. I drink wine and champagne. Actually, I ain't drinking wine and champagne today. I actually got me some rum and ginger beer today. But me drinking liquor, that's a very rare occasion, FYI. So, I faced a bottle of rosé and got lit. Then I was on FaceTime with some of my friends from from college, which was fun because some of them I hadn't spoken to in a while. And so that was cool. And then I ended up calling my friend, and I remember being like, you should come up here. It's only like 2 hours from where you at. And he was like, you still got COVID? I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm not coming up there. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I want you to come up here. He's like, you got COVID. I'm not coming up there, Maj. I'm not coming up there. I was like, all right, fuck it. Fine. Whatever. And then that night, I want to say I went to sleep pretty early. I got lit. I was definitely lit. So I went to sleep, right? The next morning I woke up, Saturday morning. I woke up early. I woke up at like 7 o'clock. And I just remember thinking, I am so happy that I am here by myself right now. With Raisin, obviously. But I am so happy that I am here by myself right now. It was a moment that I didn't expect to have, but it's a moment that I'm very happy that I had. I woke up at 7 o'clock. I ain't have to make breakfast. I ain't have to, because I don't, you know, well, y'all don't know, but I just don't eat much anymore. So I woke up. I didn't have to make breakfast. I didn't have to worry about if somebody else ate breakfast. I didn't, that night that I got into bed, I didn't shower before I got into bed. And I didn't end up showering until later on in that day. And I didn't have to worry about if I was funky or not. Like, if I wanted to lay around in my funk and must, I could do that all fucking day if I wanted to. I didn't have to worry about if I left my luggage open and somebody was tripping over it. Like, I got to do whatever I wanted to do. And once I woke up and realized that, I was so happy to be there by myself. I was so happy to be there by myself. I tend to take care of people more than, like, before I take care of myself when I have to. And if somebody was there, I would have put myself in that position. So I was just really excited not to be in that space at that moment. So Saturday was a really good day. I ended up rolling around in the bed, watching some videos on YouTube for a while, thinking about some projects and what I wanted the next year to be. And then the exciting part of Saturday, one of the exciting parts of Saturday was I ended up chopping up some shrooms. I put them in a tea bag and I drank some shroom tea, which is going to be my new way of consuming shrooms, because I usually just eat them. They're fucking nasty. They taste like chewing a sock that somebody been fucking walking around in all goddamn day long. They're disgusting. They're nasty. And then they get stuck in your teeth. It's just disgusting. Drinking it is way better than eating it if you have the time and the patience to, do it that way. But anyway, so I did that. I drank some shrooms tea. And then I went on a walk. the little house that I was in, it was like kind of like a little, it's not a little tree house. It was like a house over top of a garage, or like over a shed or something like that. But, you know, there was a whole bunch of property and like a private pond. And so I went for a walk. And as I was on this walk, I felt my shrooms starting to kick in. And I took some pictures that only somebody that was on psychedelics would take some of these fucking pictures. Only a person that was high on something would take the pictures that I took. So I ended up taking some pictures and just walking around and just enjoying me and just enjoying my space. And I was so happy. Shrooms definitely makes you want to like be outside and be in nature. So I was really happy to be able to be outside and be in this space. And then I remember at one point looking down at this, some type of seed or some type of something that fell off of a tree, fruit or nut or something. And it looked like a vagina. And then slowly I started looking around and everything looked like vaginas. It was like a slit that was cut into a tree. I was like, that is a vagina. That's a coochie. Everything started looking like a pussy to me. It's on these shrooms, which is an experience that I've never had before, but I thought that was kind of interesting. So I walked around for a while and then I came back in the house. And I came back in the house, I sat on the bed, and then I ended up laying down on the bed. And this is where things kind of take a turn. For what I thought was the worst, I thought it was going to end up being a bad trip, but it was a good trip. Spoiler alert, it was definitely a good trip. So I ended up laying in the bed, and then I was just like, I don't want to have clothes on anymore. So I ended up taking my clothes off and just leaving my drawers on. I'm laying in the bed. I lay in the bed and Raisin's there. And I'm just looking at Raisin and I'm just appreciating how much I love him and how much I'm happy that he's on this trip with me. Because he's just the dopest fucking cat in the world. I fucking love my cat. He's the sweetest. He's literally like the sweetest and best cat in the world. So I love my cat and I was happy that he was there. And then I had my phone up and I was looking at my phone. And the way that I had my camera, I was looking at my scars from my breast reduction. So I have scars under my breast and going down from my areola. I was looking at my scars from my breast reduction. And it was the first moment that I had realized how invasive that surgery was. I knew what I was doing. I've known what I was doing, this entire time. But that was the first moment I really looked at, I really, really looked at my scars and said, wow, I did something that was, traumatic, really traumatic to my body. I'm happy that I did it. Don't get me wrong. This is not a bad story. But to my body, that had to be a shock to my body and to my breast. And I never really took a moment to acknowledge that. So I started to cry. And it was I don't even know how to explain it. I do remember just being in, at one point I cried and then I stood up and I stood in the mirror. I teared. I didn't cry at that point. I was tearing at that point. But it was a moment of gratitude just to say thank you to my breast for allowing me to do something that was so traumatic to them, but coming out and being better than ever. And just really changing the trajectory of my life and what I'm able to do and my overall happiness. It was a big deal. Getting a breast reduction is a big deal. Going from big titties to normal fucking size titties and being able to wear regular clothes and to feel sexy in different ways is it's a big deal. It's a shocker. It's a big shock to your body. It's a big shock to your eye when you look in the mirror and your body is just different one day. But it was such a good thing, and it was something that I needed to do, and I'm so happy that I did it. And I just never thanked my body for allowing me to put it through that and still being okay, right? So that was that. And then I was like, you know what? I want to show some appreciation to my breasts. And so what I did was I massaged my breasts several times a day, at least 2 times a day, with bio oil and cocoa butter on my scars, because I gotta try to rub the scars to keep the scar tissue from forming, and because the cocoa butter and the bio oil will help with the scars and help them fade, right? So I'm sitting in the mirror and I'm doing that, and as I'm doing that, I'm listening to some music and I'm happy, and it's just a moment of gratitude. There's a couple moments that I had to just hold on to. Ooh, my nipple getting hard. It was a couple moments I had to just hold on to them and just say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm doing my thing, rubbing my oil and the butters and the oils and the butters, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I just started crying. And not like a boo hoo hoo, like sobbing from like deep in the depths of my heart. And it felt like I was crying for baby Maj. I was crying for toddler Maj. I was crying for infant Maj. I was crying for childhood Maj. I was crying for teenage Maj. I was crying for young adult Maj. I was sobbing because at that moment I realized that I love myself. I love the fuck out of myself. I really do. I love myself so much, but I don't just love myself. I am in love with myself. And I had not felt like that ever really in my life. I think I've loved myself for a long time. I've been a very confident person and I've loved myself for a long time. But this is the first time in my life that I can say I am in love with myself. And that's a completely different feeling. Completely different feeling. The way that I would expect to treat a person that I'm in love with. You cater to that person. You protect that person. You love that person. You listen to that person. Those are all of the things that I realize that I do for myself. I treat myself the way I would expect a lover to treat me. And sometimes we all go into these habits of negative self-talk and things like that. But I'm pretty quick to pull myself out of that when I get there. And it was just this overwhelming love for myself, and I was sobbing for all of the time that I spent so many years, I would just say at least 20, but I know it's more than that. At least 20 years of my life I spent not loving myself, liking myself, sure, using comparison to other people to think that I was better than people and using that to boast me up. Yeah, sure, I did that, but did I love myself? I didn't love myself, and now I can say that I do. And that feels good. And I wish that I could have told young Maj that, baby Maj that. I wish that I could have told her the importance of loving herself and how amazing she is and why she should love herself. And so that is going to bring me to actually the topic of today. I'll tell the whole stories after, since I'm already getting into it a little bit and I do want to cry, but I ain't gonna cry because I'm a thug, right? And also because I did makeup today. But that's the topic of today. This topic of this episode is self-love. And I just don't think that, we talk about self-love, but we don't talk about it in the right ways. I don't think. Like, when was the first time? Really think about this. Think about this question. When was the first time that you were taught the importance of self-love or taught what self-love looked like? It probably happened in the last, 5 years. We'll call it 5 years. Self-love wasn't something that we were really taught about. And why? Because I don't think that the people who probably should have been teaching us about self-love really knew what it was, what it meant, the importance of it. So now it's a buzzword. Now it's something that we hear. Now it's a hashtag self-love when we do a fucking face mask. But what is self-love? Self-love is really, in essence, just an acceptance of self. It doesn't mean that you think that you are perfect. It doesn't mean that you think that you are better than anybody. It is saying, this is me. This is who I am. And I accept that. It's not, this is the best that I'm ever going to be. You don't have to be the best that you'll ever be to love yourself. You can meet yourself where you are and love yourself from there. That is self-love. And when you practice self-love and when you have self-love, you notice the difference in not only how you treat yourself, but how you treat other people. And then you notice the difference in how other people treat you. Because when we judge people, right? A lot of the times what we're doing is we are judging the parts of them that we see in ourselves that we don't like. Did I say that right? I think I did. When you judge other people for things that they do, a lot of the time it's you are judging them for doing or for seeing things in them that you don't like in yourself. When you sit back and really think about it, at the root of judgment, that takes a lot of self-awareness to be able to do that. But when you can sit back and do that, you'll realize that the root of a lot of the things are just reflections of what you don't like in yourself, and that's why we judge them. It's easier for us to do that, to judge other people, than it is for us to judge ourselves a lot of the time. So I will say, though, one thing that has helped me learn to love myself more is definitely my confidence. My confidence being higher helped me love myself more. And in this crying session, I realized that a lot of my confidence, especially in these last couple years, people who've known me who've known me throughout my life, I think I've been a fairly confident person for a while, for a long time, for most of my life. But in these last couple years, I would say my confidence has skyrocketed. And I think that I honestly and truly and wholeheartedly believe that is because of kink and the kink lifestyle. Being in a place that encourages me to get what I want, not just get what I want, but being in a space that encourages me to ask for what I want. Whatever it is that I want, I'm allowed to ask for it. Not even just allowed to, I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged to ask for it. And to get what I want out of situations, and to get what I want out of people, not in like a, using people kind of way and in a manipulative way, but I'm encouraged to ask for the things that I want. I am encouraged to say, ow, that hurts. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm encouraged to say, this has piqued my interest and I really want to try that. I'm encouraged to say, no, I don't want to do that with you. I'm encouraged to say, maybe not now, but maybe later. Or I'm encouraged to say now, but no, I don't want to do it later. You are encouraged to speak up for yourself in a way that we aren't really told to, especially as women and especially as Black women. We're not encouraged to speak up for ourselves. And so kink has allowed a space that has encouraged me to speak up for my wants and for my needs and for the things that I want to experience. And that has definitely played a part in my confidence. And because I'm a more confident person, I think I am able to practice and experience self-love in a way that I was not able to before. Excuse me. Now, self-love. What else is self-love? Self-love is a guideline for how people treat you. Hear me out. Let me talk through this for a second. I said earlier, when you love yourself, you see it in the way other people treat you. Why is that, right? How can I say this in the best way that I can say this? We sit with ourselves every day, all day, right? We talk to ourselves and we critique ourselves and stuff all day, every day. Some of those thoughts are negative thoughts. They're not always positive thoughts that we have for ourselves. That's negative, and that's negative self-talk. And it's a normal thing, right? Don't get stuck in the trap of it, but it is a normal thing that happens. But if you allow yourself to think negatively and talk negatively about yourself, to yourself, all the time, it makes it easier for somebody who's not you, somebody outside of you, to do that stuff when you do that stuff to yourself all the time. It makes it so much easier for somebody else to come in and do the same shit to you. And so when you love yourself and you don't practice those things and you're not talking negatively to yourself, when somebody else comes to you and starts talking negatively, you can like, ho, relax. What are you doing? When you treat yourself really good, you take yourself out for the nice dinners and you buy yourself the nice things that you want. And when you treat yourself real good, nobody can come into your life and not treat you good, because you're going to be looking at them like, I don't need you to, if I want to be treated like shit, I treat myself better than you treat me. Let me say it like that. I treat myself better than you're treating me. So I ain't going to let you come in here and disrupt what I got going on with myself. When you love yourself, when you elevate how you treat yourself, you ain't going to let nobody treat you worse than you treat, let me not say that because some people do, but generally, when you treat yourself, when you love yourself, you treat yourself at a certain level. When you get something that's beyond lower than that level, you're going to be looking at like, I don't want that. I don't like that. I don't like the way that I feel. I'm not with that. So loving yourself is definitely a guideline for how people treat you. And then you can't pour from an empty cup. And we hear this saying all the time, but it's true. You have to love on yourself before you can really be loving on other people. If you don't have enough love to give to yourself, then how are you going to give that to other people? how do you even know how to give that to other people if you don't even know how to give that to yourself? Self-love is important, and self-love is not just a face mask. Self-love is looking at yourself and knowing that you are beautiful. It is knowing that your desires are worth having, not just asking for and going for, but you deserve what you want. That is self-love, and whatever that means and whatever that looks like, you deserve to have whatever you want and whatever you need. That is self-love, and that is how 2022 Maj is hitting y'all. Let me let you know. And then, so self-love for me, what does that look like? I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but like self-love for me these days looks like I protect myself. I protect my heart. I protect my energy. I protect my time. I protect it from people, and I protect it from myself. I am my worst critique. I am my worst critique. I am my worst critic, but I am also my biggest cheerleader. I think my mommy might be my biggest cheerleader, but I'm up there with my mommy in the way that I advocate for myself. If I don't want something, I'm going to speak up for it. If I want something, I'm usually going to speak up for it. But sometimes I do judge myself. Sometimes I judge the things that I want, and it makes it harder to ask for them. But when I get to the root of why I want what I want, and I can say, nah, I still want that, I can ask for it, comfortably ask for it. And that's really important. But I think the biggest thing that I realized during this cry is that I protect the fuck out myself. I really do. Not even so much physically, spiritually. Spiritually, I protect the fuck out myself. And I think that is why I avoid so many shitty things from happening. Like, I have a shield around me. I am divinely protected. I know that was one of my affirmations in the last couple weeks, but like, I am divinely protected. The universe protects me. My energy protects me. Okay, I avoid a lot of bullshit because I am protected, and with that, I can more comfortably go forth and ask for the things from the universe that I want. That's self-love, baby. That is what self-love looks like to me. The masks and going to the spa and treating myself to dinner, all of those things are great and beautiful, and I will continue to do all of that stuff. But self-love to me is so much more intrinsic. It's so much more intangible. It's something that is in you, and the way that you feel about yourself. It's not so much that the things that you do for yourself matter, but it's really so much, it's so much more about how you feel about yourself. And so now, usually I give y'all the whole shit before I give y'all the topic, but it was on my heart to give the topic. So now I can go into the whole shit. Okay. Whole shit. Yes. This is my favorite part, honestly. Because it is the Funsexual podcast, right? So you know I have to do it. Whole shit. Okay, so my whole shit occurred. I had a really good New Year's Eve. Okay. So, how did my New Year's Eve start? My New Year's Eve started, I went to my best friend's cousin's house, right? Her place, her apartment. And when I got there, it was a bunch of white people, and like Swedish white people, and we were drinking, and it was just like a good time, right? It's a really good time. And so one of my friends met me there. A guy friend and partner of mine. And he met me there. And when he got there, I had been telling him, first of all, I had COVID for the 2 weeks before that. I had been in the house for 2 weeks before that. I wasn't getting no dick. I was irritated. I was missing all of the events and shit that I wanted to go to. So I was tight. And I had told him, I said, listen. Drop my phone. I had told him, listen, we fucking at this girl house. We gonna go in the bathroom and we fucking at this girl house. And I think he thought I was playing. But I kept telling him, like, yo, at some point I'm gonna either pull you or I'm gonna give you a look, and that means we about to go fuck. And you need to know that this is happening. Right? So, at some point, we're at some point we're playing games, we're playing different card games, playing drinking games. Before I even continue this story, you know how you be in a space and you realize, I don't belong in this motherfucker? I had one of those moments. We're playing this card game, and we're playing games like Never Have I Ever. And you know, all of that shit ends up going sexual at some point, right? And every time the shit would go sexual, people would be like, never have I ever had a threesome. And people are like, have you had a threesome? Have you had a threesome? And so me and my friend are like, yeah. Y'all think they had a threesome? The number of times that like never have I ever had a threesome, or who's had a threesome, or something about a threesome came up, I realized like, I don't belong in this. I don't belong in here. And quite honestly, at one point I asked him, like, quite honestly, like, why are y'all not having threesomes? I'm really trying to understand it. Like, it's not that easy. I'm like, for you. To you, it's not that easy. To you, it's not that easy. Like, threesomes ain't that hard to find, baby. But, you know, we live different lives, apparently. So, we're playing card games, whatever. And at one point, I'm looking at him, I'm like, you ready to go to the bathroom? And he's like, no, Maj. I'm like, whatever. And he was like, all right, let's go. I was like, all right. So I'm diddling through my purse. He was like, oh, I ain't got no condoms. I was like, don't worry about it, baby. So I'm diddling through my purse. I forgot my fucking condoms. I forgot my condoms. I always have condoms in my purse, but I switched into a little clutch for, you know, my little outfit. Forgot my condoms. Not only did I forget my condoms, I forgot my goddamn drugs. I had planned on doing drugs for New Year's. I ended up doing drugs. We'll get there. But I forgot my drugs. I was supposed to do some shroomies. I was supposed to be all feeling all good and connected to nature and shit. Forgot my fucking shrooms. Forgot my condoms. I forgot everything. I was a mess, okay? So once I realized I forgot my condoms, he's like, ha 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 ha. I was like, ha 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 ha, nigga. Hold on one second. So I went to the person whose apartment it was. I was like, first of all, I was like, do you care if I fuck in your bathroom? She was like, no. I was like, okay. I was like, second, do you have condoms? She came out with some like Durex condoms, which I don't use, but I was like, we gonna make this work today, right? So I come back all giddy. He's looking at me. He's like, I already know. And I was like, okay, good. He was like, can we wait till after the ball drop? And I was like, that's fine. So we were playing more card games. We're drinking, genuinely having a great time. It was actually a nice little vibe, right? Ball drop. Happy New Year. People on the phone. New Year's kiss. Doing all that thing. Baby. By about 12:09, I was looking at him like, he was like, all right, come on. Baby. Child. Okay. So that's when shit got popping. Okay. We went into the bathroom. And mind you, I was looking cute. I had my little dress on and the makeup, but I had the red lips on and shit. I was looking all cute and shit. I got in that bathroom, baby. I took a paper towel, wiped that lipstick off. That shit was off. So there was like pre-12 o'clock Maj, red lips. After 12 o'clock Maj, red lipstick was going, baby. It was done. I looked at him. I thought about what I was about to do because I had on like a little silky dress. I took the dress off. So now I'm just standing there. Did I have drawers on at that point? I don't even think I had drawers on at that point. Don't remember. Took off the dress. And now I'm just sucking dick. I am sucking dick. And this is the first time I've sucked dick in about 2 weeks. Almost 3 weeks, I think. I was so excited. Oh, God. It was so good. It was such a good time. Ooh, baby. And then at one point, he just picks me, like, pulls me up and turns me around. He puts a condom on. And he just starts fucking this shit out of me. And it was great. This Durex condom got put to work. Yo. He started fucking me. It was so good. It was one of those, like, goddamn, I missed this shit. And he was talking all that shit. So good. And then at one point, his phone was, like, in front of me. And I just, like, pick up his phone. And I just start, like, recording us fucking. Which, nigga, I still need that damn video. So, we're fucking. And it was so good, y'all. It was, oh, my God. It was so good. So we did that. I don't know how long we were in here. I feel like it was probably, like, 20 minutes. But when we came out, people were like, where you guys been? Like, we were gone for so long. Anyway, at one point, the girl whose apartment it was knocks on the bathroom door. And she was like, why is my door locked? I was like, I'm coming. And so, I was like, give me 1 second. She was like, I said you could fuck. I didn't mean you could fuck in my bathroom. Because she had 2 bathrooms, like one in her room and then like the one in the hallway or whatever. And I was like, oh, I didn't want to take up the other bathroom. So that's why I came here. So I ended up unlocking the door. Like, we ended up finishing up or whatever. and unlocking the door. And she just kind of looked at me and was just like, it wasn't really much that she could say. And shortly after that, we actually ended up leaving there, but not before I found some white man with some drugs, and I got some Molly. Even before I did the Molly, if I found the Molly, I'm gonna walk you through all of the drugs that I did, because I did good. I did really good. One of my friends had some Adderall. I was telling her I was sleepy, and she was like, do you want some Adderall? I was like, actually, yeah, I will take some Adderall. That shit will definitely keep me up. So I took some Adderall. Then, before we left, I found a white man that had some Molly. So I got some Molly, right? And I cut it in half, because I was like, I don't want to take this whole thing. Like, I cut it in half. It was a pill. And then, me and my friend, we were like, y'all, peace out. And we ended up going to a party, right? And this party was unplanned. Honestly, it was completely unplanned. But earlier that day, I have a friend who's a promoter. And he was like, are you coming to my party? I was like, I didn't even know you were having a party. He was like, yeah, I'm having a party. You should come through. I was like, I'll think about it. I got some plans for the night, but I'll think about it. So I was like, you know what? We are going to go to that party. So I text him like, yo, I'm coming through. He was like, all right. I was like, can I bring a friend? He's like, yeah. Boom. Go to the party. When I get to this party, from the door, I just see mad people. I see mad people that I know, and I was just so excited. Like, I just saw so many people that I knew. And so the guy who was throwing the party, when I got in, I gave him a hug or whatever. I'm introducing him to my friend. And I'm like, and he goes, Mosh, I got a surprise for you. I said, for me? He was like, yeah. And as soon as he said that, I like looked over his shoulder, and I see my cousin and her fiance standing behind him, like in the back of the room. So I just start screaming, and I run over to her. Mind you, I am drunk at this point. I'm so drunk that on the way from fucking Midtown Manhattan to Bushwick, Brooklyn, like a 30-40 minute drive, I was talking to the Uber driver the entire time. Like, I found out about his entire life, and the dude that I'm with, my friend, is just looking at me like, you just won't shut up, will you? It was fun. It was sweet. It was cute or whatever. It was so cute. We had such a cute little night. It was such a cute night. Anyway, so I get chatty. When I get drunk, I'm a happy drunk. I'm not an angry drunk. I don't want to fight drunk. I'm usually not a sloppy drunk, but I get happy, excited. I love everybody when I'm drunk. So I see my cousin, I run over, and I give her a hug, and I'm talking to her and her fiance, and I'm introducing them to the dude that I was with, and then realized that they had already knew him. They had met him like the 2 weeks prior to that. Excuse me. And so that happens. And then I'm walking around this space, and I just keep seeing people that I know, and I'm just getting more excited and getting more happy. At this point, it looks like this party is starting to like dwindle down, so it's not much going on. But I did walk into a room where they seem to have been doing some impact, and I was like, yes, I would love to get my ass beat tonight. Like, let's do that. Let's do that. So found somebody to do a session with. And he did some electro play as well. So I had a really nice impact session. It was lovely. It was quite lovely. And I could hear people coming in and out, and it was just a really good time. I feel like this ring light is about to go off. So let me unplug that. It was a really good time. And then after that, we ended up leaving that party, because that party ended at 4 a.m. We ended up leaving that party, right? And going to the party that we were initially supposed to go to anyway. Now, that party was a vanilla party, but if you stay after hours to the vanilla party, that's when shit get popping. And we knew that shit was going to get popping because Maj is there and shit is going to get popping, right? So we get there, it's about 4 a.m. The other party is ending, and people are starting to leave and shit. And they start turning the couches in there. They turn into beds. They unfold into beds. So they start unfolding the couches into beds. And it's funny because I'm talking to these couples that are there, and I'm watching their face, and they're just puzzled. So I can tell they don't know that they are at what is about to be a sex party. They have no fucking idea. So I walk up to them, and I'm talking to them like, hey, like, what's your name? They're like, oh, my name's XYZ. I'm like, hi, I am Maj. They're like, oh, it's nice to meet you. I was like, how was the event? Because they were at the event before. They were like, it was good. It was fun. They talked about it. I was like, okay, all right. And I could see that they're just puzzled. And I was like, all right. So I was like, do you guys do y'all know what's about to happen here? They were like, no. The woman was like, no. And then the guy was like, I think I know, but I'm not sure. I said, and what's giving, and what do you think you know? He was like, well, when they started turning the couches into beds, I figured something was about to happen. And I just burst out laughing. Like, I could not fucking stop laughing. He was like, it was weird because I came out here and I started watching them transform that room. And I'm like, why is there beds? And I was like, yeah. I was like, so this is a sex club and that's about to happen. And so they're like, okay, they've never been to anything like that. So then I said, okay, well, this is a really good space. If you're going to, if you're going to be at something like this is a really good space. This is my favorite space. And then I went into my consent speech about how they are not required to do anything that they do not want to do. At any point, if they want to leave, they are more than welcome to. They are also welcome to, if they don't want to participate, they don't have to. They are welcome to just watch if that is something that they're into. They want to watch respectfully and, from a distance and not be all up in people's business, but they are more than welcome to watch. If they ask, people that they want to play with, they are welcome to join. They have control over their experience in this space. So I think that definitely made them feel a lot more comfortable. And I don't know at what point, I'm gonna jump around this story a little bit, but I don't know at what point, but I just remember they was sitting on the couch watching, and then a little while later, she on the knees and she sucking dick, and they fucking on the couch, and I was like, yes, we got another one. I remember walking over to them at one point. I was naked, so I took like a blanket and wrapped it around me, and I walked over to them, and I was like, so how's your experience? They were like, this is beautiful, and I was like, I'm so glad that you guys are having a good time. It was so good. It was such a good night. So many things happened. Woo, baby. Highlights of that night. So many details. Highlights of the night. First, getting fisted. Getting fisted was great. And while I was getting fisted by my friend, one of my other friends came by and she licking her fingers and she playing with my clit, doing all of this while he doing all of this, and I'm just squirting everywhere, like literally squirting up his arm. And his eyes, every time I squirt, his fucking eyes light up. He loves that shit so much, his eyes just light up. And it was great. And I completely soaked my sarong that I had that was under me. Shit happens. And it was great. That was a highlight of the night. Another highlight of the night was when there was a couple of highlights of this night. Oh my god. Another highlight of the night was when one of my friends was fucking one of my other friends, and he fucking the shit out of her. And then I didn't sleep. I was like laying down because I was getting tired. And I kind of like, she was on her hands and knees and he's on his knees and he's fucking her. And I kind of like slid my body under them so that my face was like right where his dick was entering her pussy. So it was like right there in my face. And I was able to like lick her pussy and then like suck his balls and lick her pussy and suck his balls. So I was doing that. Oh, my light just fucking died. Okay, I'll be back. So anyway. Where was I at? Sucking dick or sucking balls and eating pussy? Yeah, that's where I was. So boom. Doing that. That was great. At one point, one of my friends, I want to ask her if I can post this picture on Instagram, right? But her and she was sitting on a chair and I was sitting on the same chair with her facing her with my legs like around her, and we were just like skin to skin, but it was kind of cold, so we were like wrapped in the blanket, but we were still skin to skin, and it was such like, and then we were like making out and playing with each other's titties, and it was just such an intimate moment. And in that moment, I love women. First of all, I fucking love women. Women are so fucking soft and warm, and they pretty, and they smell good. I love women. But in that moment, I was like, God damn, I fucking love women! I love women. Like, I feel like I need a girlfriend. Like, that. I really need to start dating women again. I said I didn't know, how interested I was in dating women. And I definitely wasn't interested in dating femmes. But there's something about just a woman just being womanly and sexy that I just really love. And we had a really nice, sexy, intimate moment of just like kind of like cuddling and skin to skin and making out. And it was so nice. It was so good. I really enjoyed that. And then I went in the room and started eating her pussy. And then massaging her pussy. Like, take some coconut oil and I was just like massaging her pussy and shit. It was great. It was really fun. And then we gave her a full body massage. Oh my God, it was so good. This night was so good. Mind you, the shit didn't really start until 5 a.m. Right? 5 a.m. We started And then there was a whole lot of things that happened in all of that. So now we get to some of the good parts of the story. It's 2 good parts of the story. Fucking my friend. I was eating pussy, sucking dick, doing that, right? At one point, he fucking her. He giving it to her good, right? Oh, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't wait till I get mine, because I know mine is coming up soon. He fucking her. He look over to me, because I was sitting there, I was laying there right next to them. He look over to me, he goes, can I come? When I tell y'all I melted. And I looked at her, I said, does he deserve to come? Is he fucking you good enough? Should I let him come? She's like, yes. I was like, oh, you can come. You earned it. He's like, oh my God, that shit was fucking hot. Ooh, that shit was so sexy. I love it so much. Oh, it was so fucking hot. It was so fucking hot. And then when they were done, he like laid down. So it was me, him, her. He laid down. And she fell asleep. They got, they cozied up for a second. She fell asleep. He didn't really go to sleep. Like, he might have like napped for a few minutes, but he didn't really go to sleep, right? So he stood up. He was like, ooh, I feel good. He was like, I feel good. I'm about to go outside, go smoke a little bit of weed. I just need some air for a second. So he went outside. He came back. I looked at him. He looked at me. He said, turn over. I said, oh, I'm about to get that dick. I'm about to get some fucking dick. I'm excited. Yes, it's great. I want that. I need that. Gotta have that. All of that. Ooh. So I do as I'm told, bitch. I turn over, I lay on my motherfucking stomach, right? So this is where things get interesting. This is where things get very interesting. So he's fucking me, obviously. It's great. I love it. Love it here. It's good too. Like, it's always good, but this time, there's been a handful of times with him that have been like exceptionally good. This is one of those exceptionally good times. And I think it was like at this point I was on Molly. I had taken some Adderall. I had been drinking. I don't think I did any shrooms. Yeah, I didn't do any shrooms, but I was on Molly, Adderall, and I had been drinking. And so I'm feeling good. My pussy feeling good. I hadn't fucked them since 12 o'clock, and now at this point it's probably close to 8. It was great. My face is like in the wall, like in this wall, because the bed is like up against the wall, so my face is like in this wall. And so I remember him choking me, right? He always chokes me. He likes to put me in like a little kind of like a headlock situation. He'll choke me that way. Sometimes he'll choke me with his hand, depending on what position we in. I think he was choking me like this, right? And it's good. And when it gets to be too much, I'll tap and he let go, right? If I'm doing this, that's because I'm mimicking the fucking right? So he's choking me. When it gets to be too much, I tap, he let go, right? It's good. We have a good system. It works every time. I just know, right? At one point, I realized that I had blacked out, right? I realized that I had blacked out, and the only reason, when you black out, the only reason you realize that you black out is once you come back to. You don't remember blacking out, you just remember coming back to. So I come back to, right? And my face is in this wall. And I'm looking at this wall, and I'm like, I'd recognize this wall. Where am I at? Mind you, it's crazy. I'm like, where am I at? So then I recognize this wall. I was like, okay, I'm here. All right, cool. Then I was like, what am I doing right now? Literally didn't even realize that I was fucking. I'm not even kidding. I did not realize that I was fucking. I said, what am I doing right now? And then like my mind and my body connected. And I was like, oh, I'm fucking right now. Oh shit. And it felt good. God damn. Who am I fucking right now? Deadass. I didn't know. I did not know who I was having sex with. like blacked out. I wish I could tell y'all how long I was out. I have no idea. I don't think he even knew that I blacked out. Crazy. But I was like, first I'm like, where am I at? Realized where I was at. Then I'm like, what am I doing? Realized that I was fucking. Then I was like, okay, I'm fucking. Who am I fucking right now? And it wasn't like I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared. It wasn't like a freak out or anything like that. It was very calm. It was very like just kind of coming to and trying to gather myself, right? So I was like, mentally, I'm like, who am I fucking right now? And then I heard him moan, and I was like, oh, it's Orlando. I'm good. And so we just kept fucking. And then I had to tell him in the morning when we actually like woke up, I had to tell him the story like, nigga, I blacked out, like really blacked out. That shit was interesting. I've blacked out before, but it's never been like that. Like I completely lost my whole fucking shit. I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, who I was fucking. That shit was crazy. But we finished fucking, and then I think I might have gotten maybe an hour of sleep. I think, but I don't think it was like a solid, like a real sleep. I was kind of awake, half asleep. Let me say that. And so I actually get up at some point and go upstairs. The sun is up. By the time I got up, y'all, it was fucking 12 p.m. We did not sleep. Okay? There was like a 30-minute nap here, maybe a 30-minute nap there, but we did not sleep at all. It was 12 p.m. By the time we left where we were, it might have been like 1-ish, 2-ish. And then we went back to grab some food, went back to his place, took showers. By the time we like actually went to sleep, it was 6 p.m. the next day. 6 p.m. the next day. I am a person that requires sleep. That was hard for me. 6 p.m. the next day. Went to sleep. Slept till like 11, I think. Woke up. Fucked. Ate, fucked, whatever order that happened in. Talked on the phone with some people. Watched some TV. And then somewhere around, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, it was like, all right, go to sleep again. Went back to sleep. Woke up. Really woke up. And by this time, it's like noon time. Like, there was a lot of sleeping that happened because there was a lot of awake that happened. But that was hands down my best New Year's ever. Hands down my best New Year's ever. We went to 3 parties. We got lit. I was in good hands. I ended my night in my favorite place in the world, the place that I call my Disneyland. It's a place where I have all of my best orgasms. It's my favorite place that has sex parties. It's my favorite people there, people that I love so much. A space that is so beautiful and so comfortable and so safe and so sacred to me. It was the best New Year's that I have ever had. And I had fantastic sex. So, I can't complain. I won't complain. I will never motherfucking complain because I love it there. That was how I spent my New Year. It was really good. Beyond that, I feel like I'm gonna have to start telling some stories about some things soon, but I'm gonna hold off on that because I ain't ready to start telling some stories about some other shit that's going on. I gotta see how some shit shake out. But that was that, and that was lit. And where the fuck is my phone? Okay, here's my phone. I gotta keep my outline going because I'm almost done with this episode. This is episode. They always end up longer than I want them to be, but it's just what happens when you talk too much like me. Anyway, so this week for this week's episode of Let Me Put Y'all On. Right. This week I am putting y'all on to something that is very special to me. All of them are special to me. I don't know, but this week I'm putting y'all on to something that is special to me. It's not a thing. I don't have a bag. This week I am putting you guys on to an event. Dun-dun-dun-dun. So, February 11th through the 13th, I am introducing to you guys Weekend Playcation, brought to you by Hard, Soft, and Fun. If you missed the DC party, first of all, if you heard about how good the fucking Exotica after party was in Alexandria, Virginia. If you heard about how good it was, you do not want to miss Weekend Playcation. Okay? I'm coming back together with the Hard or Soft podcast. And we are throwing you guys a weekend event in the Pocono Mountains. It's going to be fucking dope. Okay? We have a limited number of tickets. We have a limited number of beds. If you are interested in coming to the Weekend Playcation, okay, DM me. And I will send you the information that you need. Okay? It is open to solo participants. It is open to duos. We have beds for duos. We have beds for solos. We're going to feed you guys. We're going to give you liquors. We're going to have a good time. We are going to let you guys customize this weekend experience to whatever it is that you want to do. You want to go hiking? You want to go skiing? You want to go to the gun range? You want to go go-karting? You want to do laser tag? You want to do paintball? You want to just stay in the house and fuck? We are catering this weekend playcation to whatever it is that you want to do. I started to plan it because, listen, I'm a planner. I started to plan this whole shit. And Orlando was like, hold up. Let them decide what they want to do. And I said, you know what? You're right. Let them decide what they want to do. So, the sooner that you go through our vetting process and get approved, the sooner you can start planning out what this weekend playcation is going to look like. All right? So, here's how it's going to go. If you're interested in coming, hit me up. DM me, right? We'll talk through the details. We'll go through the vetting and interviewing process. We do have a vetting process. We had to do a vetting process because we have limited number of beds. We want to respect the COVID protocol and stuff like that. So we have a limited number of beds. We already have more people than we have beds that are interested in coming to this event and have paid deposits for this event to do their vetting. I'm going too much into detail on here right now, but it is going to be a lit event. If you understand, if you know what I know and you know what I do and you know the type of shit that I like, then you know that this is not going to be something that you want to miss. So again, that is February 11th through the 13th in the Pocono Mountains. If you want to come to Weekend Playcation, hit me up on Instagram at the Funsexual. Okay? It's gonna be a good time. If y'all know me, it's going to be a fucking good time. It's going to be a fucking riot. So that is going to conclude this week's Let Me Put Y'all On. Okay? Now, before we go, I have 2 more things for y'all. Actually, technically, I have 3 more things for y'all. We are adding 2 more songs to the playlist. What is the playlist? Songs to play to on Spotify. It's a playlist. I add songs every episode. I give y'all more songs to add to the playlist, and these are songs to play to. Songs to play to. Okay, the playlist. So this week, this is when a new song, but this is when everybody playlist because it's just lit. Okay, we got On It by Jasmine Sullivan and Ari Lennox. I Want to Sit on It. Yes, that song is definitely on the playlist because that song is fire. And the second song that I've added to the playlist, and there's going to be more of this young man's music on the playlist because he has good music to have sex to, right? It is Some Nights by St. John. Great song to have sex to. So if you guys want to check out the playlist, if you go to my link in bio on Instagram, you will find the Spotify playlist, songs to play to on the playlist on Spotify. Check it out, subscribe to it. And before we actually get out of here, we are closing out with an affirmation. Okay? And in light of some of the new discoveries that I've had in these last few weeks, primarily on my weekend of intentional self-love, I realized how important it is not only to love yourself, period, but the people that I am with, they have to love themselves more than they love me. I need to love myself more than anybody loves me, and I need other people to love themselves more than they love other people. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a weird thing that happens when you don't love yourself more. And so my affirmation, really simple. Really, really simple. I love myself the most. 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 I really do. I love myself more than anybody could ever love me. And I would like to keep it that way. I never want for there to be somebody that loves me more than they love themselves. Ever. I never want that to happen. And I don't want to love anybody more than I love myself. You have to love yourself the most. You have to protect yourself. You have to listen to yourself. You have to be conscious of your needs, your physical needs, your mental needs. Whatever your needs are, you have to be mindful of that stuff. And in order to be mindful of that stuff, you have to love yourself. And I love myself the most. The most. I love myself the most. That is my affirmation for the week. That is the episode for the week. Thank you, y'all, for bearing with me. Thank you for coming into this new year with me. Thank you for every listen. Thank you to every listener. I have some really exciting things to announce. I will announce I'm gonna announce them before the episode after this drops. But y'all gonna see. Y'all are gonna see a different Maj this year. And when I say different, I'm still gonna be a hoe. But different as in I'm about to be on my shit because I got to. I gotta make myself proud. I've made myself proud. Let me clarify that. And let me say that I have made myself so proud. I am so proud of everything that I have done. I am so proud of everything that I have accomplished. But I know I got more. I know that I can do more. And I'm going to. I got the drive to do it. I got the skill to do it. I got the money to do it. I got the people behind me to do it. I got the support to do it. I'm good. I'm good. And y'all are going to see. Y'all going to see what I mean this year. So I love y'all so much. And with that being said, we peace it out for the first episode of 2022.